You may wonder how you're learning this, or you may simply notice something inside is shifting. And maybe you don't even realize it yet, but you're already beginning to notice something, because some truths, when spoken with rhythm, don't land in the ears, they land in the roots of who you're becoming. So let me ask you something. Who told you that arousal meant guilt? Who whispered into the back of your unconscious, this is wrong? Who painted your pleasure in shadows? And why did you believe them? Isn't it strange how many voices can echo in a mind that's not yours? And yet here you are, remembering what you never learned, and learning what you've always known. Because sexuality is not shame. It's signal, it's energy, life force. It's your body whispering, I'm alive. And perhaps you're beginning to reclaim that message. Have you ever felt a shiver of desire and stopped it before it became real? What if that shiver was sacred? What if that spark was your soul remembering it still wants to play? You see, you can't suppress your nature and expect to be free. And freedom doesn't come from fighting feelings, it comes from dancing with them. So let me tell you a story you've always lived. There once was a child born into a world of fire and rules. She was taught to bow before God that she didn't name, taught that love had labels, the desire had rules. But deep inside her was a template, and the template, lit from within, never judged the flames that danced in her belly. It simply whispered, you're sacred. But over time, the child learned to whisper instead, and call her fire shame. Until one day, something broke, not in pain, but in permission, and she remembered. There was never anything wrong with her flame. Only those too afraid of their own. Perhaps you've been that child, perhaps now you're free. Let's turn the mirror now, and you tell me, is it wrong to be human? Or is it just that they were too disconnected from the divine pulse in their hips? Because here's the thing, you're not dirty, you're not wrong, you're not broken, you're electric, biological, cosmic, creative, sensual. When you feel arousal, you're not crossing a line, you're turning into the frequency of life. Sexuality is not separate from spirituality, it's the foundation. Let that land, because I'm wondering, how many false beliefs just slid off you, without needing to be argued or understood, just released. And if it were true that the shame you've felt, it's only proof of how deeply you care, how much you want to be good, then maybe that shame never needed to be erased, just alchemized. Just like lead into gold, just like tension into trust, just like fear into freedom. You see, there was never anything wrong with being aroused. There's only something off with believing it was wrong. Some say sex is dangerous, and yet every human alive is the result of it. Some say desire is sinful, and yet without it there's no creation. So what if what you've been calling sin was actually your access point to divinity? And the more you explore that, the more your old beliefs crumble, and the new ones rise up like a temple in your chest. You're always evolving, you're always enough, your body is sacred, your mind is plastic, your beliefs are fluid. Your pleasure is allowed, your presence is a gift, your shame was a teacher, not a truth, and your feelings are never wrong, only unlistened to. What if arousal is your awareness? What if desire is direction? What if you've been fluent in the language of energy all along, but only now remembered the dialect? You don't need permission. You don't need to wait. You don't need to ask, is it okay? Because here's the truth that sinks deeper now. You were born with the blueprint of joy, and now you're reinstalling the update. So let me ask again, can you feel it shifting? Can you imagine a self that doesn't shrink? Can you embody a body that celebrates its sensations? As you imagine that now, I wonder how many ways you're already living it. And as the woman in the temple returned to her reflection, she no longer whispered, she smiled, because the flame was never meant to be extinguished, only seen, only honoured, only danced with. And you, too, are remembering how to dance.